Headphones on, the whispers begin.
Have you ever visited a hospital? I mean an abandoned hospital. This story may open your eyes. Emily Rourke had always been drawn to stories with a dark past. As a seasoned journalist, she had investigated many unsettling tales, but none intrigued her more than the legend of Hollow Creek Asylum. Closed for decades after a series of mysterious deaths, the old psychiatric hospital had long been a subject of whispered rumors and ghost stories in the small town of Blackwood. One crisp autumn morning, Emily decided it was time to uncover the truth behind the sinister tales. Armed with her notepad, camera, and a flashlight, she set out for the asylum, located on the outskirts of town, shrouded by dense woods. The building stood like a forgotten sentinel, its crumbling facade and broken windows a testament to years of neglect. Pushing open the rusted gate, Emily felt a chill that had nothing to do with the cool October air. The air grew thick with silence as she approached the main entrance, its massive wooden doors hanging slightly ajar. Taking a deep breath, she stepped inside, her footsteps echoing eerily through the empty halls. The interior was a labyrinth of decay and darkness. Peeling paint, broken tiles, and abandoned medical equipment littered the floor. As she ventured deeper, she couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. Emily reminded herself that it was just an old building, its history playing tricks on her mind. She began her investigation in the main hall, where a large, tarnished plaque listed the names of the staff and some notable patients. One name caught her eye: Victor Hargrave, the asylum's last director, rumored to have conducted unorthodox experiments on the patients. The deaths that led to the hospital's closure were never fully explained, but many believed Hargrave's experiments had gone horribly wrong. Emily's flashlight flickered, casting long shadows that seemed to dance on the walls. She moved cautiously towards the patient's wing where the most notorious stories originated. The air grew colder, and she could see her breath forming in small clouds. Room after room, she found remnants of the past, tattered beds, abandoned personal belongings, and graffiti scrawled by vandals. In one room, she discovered an old journal tucked under a rotting mattress. The cover was worn and the pages yellowed, but the handwriting was still legible. It belonged to a patient named Eleanor White. Eleanor's entries spoke of nightmarish visions, the screams of other patients, and a constant feeling of dread. The final entry sent a shiver down Emily's spine. October 12th, 1952. They are coming for me tonight. I hear them whispering in the walls. Dr. Hargrave promised he would make me better, but I know now he lied. We are all just experiments to him. If anyone finds this journal, know that the spirits of Hollow Creek will never rest. We are trapped here, forever haunted. As Emily read the last words, a sudden gust of wind slammed the door shut. Her flashlight died, plunging her into darkness. Panic surged through her as she fumbled to turn it back on. When the light finally flickered to life, she gasped. Standing in the corner of the room was a figure, translucent, with hollow eyes and an expression of agony. Emily stumbled back, her heart pounding. The figure moved closer, its form becoming clearer. It was Eleanor, her face twisted in despair. Emily wanted to run, but her legs felt like lead. "Help us," Eleanor whispered, her voice echoing as if from a great distance. "Release us from this torment." Before Emily could respond, the apparition vanished, leaving the room in an icy stillness. She gathered her courage and decided to find Dr. Hargrave's office, hoping to uncover more about the experiments and perhaps a way to free the trapped souls. Navigating the darkened corridors, she eventually found the director's office. The door creaked open, revealing a room filled with dusty books, old medical records, and strange, arcane symbols drawn on the walls. In the center of the room was a large oak desk, cluttered with papers and an open journal. Emily approached the desk and began to read the journal. It was Hargrave's personal diary, detailing his obsession with curing mental illness through experimental and often cruel methods. The last few entries were the most disturbing. October 10th, 1952. The ritual is nearly complete. The patients are the perfect vessels for my research. They will transcend their earthly bodies and become something greater. I will be remembered as a pioneer. October 12th, 1952. The experiment failed. The spirits are restless, angry. They are trapped between worlds bound to this place. I have unleashed something terrible, and there is no way to reverse it. As she finished reading, a cold hand grasped her shoulder. Emily spun around to see Dr. Hargrave's ghost, his face a mask of twisted regret and madness. "You should not have come here," he hissed. "Now you too will be part of my legacy." Emily's mind raced. She remembered Eleanor's plea for help and realized that the spirits were bound by Hargrave's unfinished ritual. She had to find a way to complete it and set them free. Frantically, she searched the room and found a hidden compartment in the desk containing a tattered book of ancient rites and rituals. Flipping through the pages, she found a passage that matched the symbols on the walls. Summoning her courage, she began to recite the incantation. The building shook, and a cacophony of voices filled the air. The temperature plummeted, and ghostly figures began to materialize, their faces contorted in pain. As she finished the ritual, a blinding light enveloped the room. The spirits, including Eleanor and Dr. Hargrave, were drawn into the light, their expressions shifting from anguish to peace. The light faded, and the asylum fell silent. Emily collapsed, exhausted but relieved. She had freed the trapped souls and uncovered the truth behind the horrors of Hollow Creek Asylum. As she left the building, the first rays of dawn breaking through the trees, she knew she would never forget the faces of the lost and the suffering that had transpired within those walls. The asylum, now devoid of its haunting presence, stood as a silent monument to the past. Emily's story would ensure that the victims of Hollow Creek were never forgotten and that their spirits, finally at peace, could rest for eternity.